My compassionate and imaginative Pisces friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Pisces, it's as if you're floating just beneath the surface this week, sensing the current's pull but not quite letting yourself drift away. There's a faint ache that sits in your chest, a kind of longing that doesn't have a clear name. Maybe it's nostalgia for something you can't quite remember, or a gentle tension between what you know and what you hope could be. It isn't loud, but it colors everything. Even the brightest moments seem to carry a soft shadow, a pause before the next breath. You're not lost, but you may be quietly wondering where your anchor is. Familiar comforts feel different now, and the world you know seems to shimmer with possibility and uncertainty at the same time. In this space, you might feel both held by old rhythms and quietly restless, craving meaning yet wary of what change might bring. You sit at the center of it all with a quiet seriousness, like someone who understands the weight of tradition, but is not always sure how it fits. The presence of the Hierophant in your reading this week is less about strict rules and more about the depth of your inner longing for belonging. Maybe you find yourself seeking out voices of comfort, an old friend's advice, a mentor's gentle guidance, or even the steady rhythm of your own rituals. There's a part of you that wants to be shown the way, to be reminded that you are part of something bigger, that the world makes sense if you just listen closely enough. But sometimes that search brings its own tension. You may feel the pressure to conform, to meet expectations that don't quite fit your heart. Questions rise up. Am I honoring what's true for me, or just following what I've been told? Are these rules for me, or are they someone else's scaffolding? You might notice a quiet resistance under the surface, a subtle pushback against the idea that there is only one right way to live or love or be. Still, the comfort is real. You find solace in familiar prayers, in the echo of shared stories, in the scent of the past lingering in the present. Your need for structure is balanced by your desire for freedom, and this tension hums quietly in your daily life. It's not a crisis. It's more like a gentle, persistent questioning. In your interactions, you could find yourself holding back, not from fear, but from a wish to honor the weight of your own feelings. The rules you hold dear might feel both protective and confining. You're craving connection, but only the kind that lets you stay whole. And so you stand quietly on the threshold between tradition and your own unfolding truth, neither rushing forward nor retreating, listening for the moment when both can exist together. Out of this quiet wrestling, a new restlessness begins to move through your days, what you're carrying on the inside, the longing for belonging, the questions about what's truly yours, inevitably shapes what unfolds around you. The desire for guidance draws you toward moments of choice. Suddenly, the world doesn't feel so neatly organized. Every conversation, every invitation, every dream or plan seems to shimmer with possibility and ambiguity. You feel the pull to explore, but also the uncertainty of leaving behind the comfort of what you know. The more you sit with your inner questions, the more the outer world responds, presenting options, dilemmas, and the subtle pressure of decision. In this way, your internal state becomes the map for the week ahead, and the path before you grows more complex as you try to honor both your need for safety and your longing for something more. This week, the landscape of your life feels as wide and as shifting as the sea. The 7 of Cups arrives, and with it comes the sense of being surrounded by choices, each one glimmering with its own unique promise, but none offering certainty. Some options feel like dreams, enticing you with their shine, while others seem practical yet dull. There's friction here, a subtle pressure to choose when you're not sure what you want or even what's real. You might notice yourself caught between fantasy and reality, tempted by what could be, but wary of being led astray by wishful thinking. The days themselves feel full, maybe even crowded, as you weigh your options and listen to the conflicting voices around you. Some moments you may sense a gentle overwhelm, a feeling that there are too many directions, too many versions of yourself waiting for your attention. It's easy to get swept up in the energy of longing, in imagining how things might feel if only you had chosen differently, or if you could somehow have it all. The friction comes from not wanting to disappoint anyone, especially yourself. At times, you might feel as if every choice carries the risk of losing something essential. The momentum of the week pushes you to look at what is real and what is illusion, to gently test the ground beneath your feet before you step forward. Conversations with others may feel charged, not with conflict, but with the unspoken hope that someone else might make the decision for you. Yet, underneath it all, there is a quiet wisdom guiding you back to yourself. The pressure isn't about rushing toward clarity, but about finding the courage to let your true desires come up, even if they surprise you. The world is asking for your attention, but only you can decide which dream is worth your devotion. Just as the many choices swirl around you, it becomes clear that what happens next depends on how honestly you meet the moment. The week's potential does not arrive automatically. It waits quietly for you to show up with your whole self. The path is shaped not by the number of options or the pressure to select the right one, but by the willingness to be present with your own feelings. If you move through the uncertainty with awareness, if you let yourself recognize the longing and the tension without turning away, the next chapter can open with more ease. Conscious engagement is not about getting it perfect, but about being real with yourself, trusting that the act of showing up fully brings its own kind of clarity. There is an invitation here, gentle but unmistakable, to step into a more mature, compassionate way of being. The King of Cups speaks to what becomes possible when you allow yourself to feel everything, the longing, the confusion, the hope, and hold it all with steady hands. This isn't about shutting out the noise or forcing yourself to choose quickly. Instead, it's about becoming the calm in the center of your own storm, finding your own emotional rhythm even as the world shifts around you. There's a quiet strength in letting yourself feel deeply without losing your balance. You may notice that when you stop trying to resolve every contradiction and simply allow both your need for safety and your hunger for meaning to exist together, something settles inside you. The invitation is to become the one who can hold uncertainty with kindness, to trust your own emotional wisdom even when answers are slow to arrive. Growth looks like making peace with the fact that you may never have all the answers, but you can still move forward with care. The world may not quiet down, but you become steadier, more anchored in your own heart. As you navigate this moment, you find room for both tradition and possibility, for longing and acceptance, all held together by the quiet authority of your own presence. When you look back over this week, you may notice how each piece of the story weaves into the next. The longing for belonging and the comfort of old patterns shaped your inner landscape, asking you to notice which rules still serve you and which ones you've outgrown. The swirling possibilities of the days ahead reflected your own restlessness, the friction of wanting more without knowing exactly what more means. All the while, the world asked for your attention and your heart weighed every option. Yet what truly mattered was not the choice itself, but the way you met the uncertainty, with honesty, kindness, and a willingness to feel it all. The Hierophant, the Seven of Cups, and the King of Cups create a kind of arc, from searching for meaning to standing at the crossroads, to finding the strength to be gentle with yourself no matter what unfolds. There is no need to rush or force clarity. By allowing yourself to honor both your doubts and your desires, you give yourself the space to grow into something steadier, wiser, and more at home in your own skin. The week ends not with a dramatic solution, but with a quiet sense of reassurance. You are allowed to be both searching and secure, both questioning and compassionate all at once. In this, you find your own kind of peace. Actionable insights for Pisces this week. Let yourself linger a little longer with the feelings that rise up, without trying to explain them away. Try saying what you want out loud, even if the words feel uncertain at first. Notice which small comforts feel true to you and let yourself enjoy them fully. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I honor what I feel even when it shifts. I am allowed to take my time. Each emotion has a place in my day. I trust myself to move gently forward. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.